So I had 2 extra years on campus, and it was the best thing that ever happened to me. Because the 2 biggest things that have defined the past decade of my life happened to me in my extra year. My journey into photography started in my extra year. If I could turn back the hands of time, I would beg God again for those extra years.
I'm sure at the time when it happened, you had like emotions.
The first extra year, I was just vibing. The second one was a blow because it was just one part 1 course. What made it painful was I wasn't the most studious guy on campus, but I really studied for that course. I went to go and meet part 1 students to teach me, register for tutorials. So failing it really messed me up. They finally graduated me.
They finally graduated.
Yes, because they did.
Let you go.
They just let me go because it was just 40E on the dot. So I knew that it was just one guy that said, let this guy just go.
I like the fact you are saying it with so much joy and excitement.
I'm happy now, I don't blue.
Good day, everyone. You're welcome to Live Up Podcast. My name is Adam Favor Adesua, and as usual, I'm so excited to have you join us here today. Today's guest is someone who has built a strong reputation as a photographer, a visual storyteller, and a creative visionary. Through his work, he has captured influential personalities, captivating stories in such a way that communicates identity, legacy, and confidence. His work sits at the intersection between creativity, psychology, influence, and culture. And at a time where Africa is shaping its global narrative, he's part of the new generation, using visuals and storytelling to tell deeper and meaningful stories. Please join me as I welcome Mr. Yemi Kings to the show today. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you so much once again for coming. So yes, when we talk about photography in Nigeria, you're one of those who stand out, right? Through your work, we've seen visibility, we've seen influence, and we've seen, just your success story. However, I want you to tell us who Yemi King was before this Yemi Kings that we know now. This one that is making impact, visible, and, doing things with his work. So just, who were you, and what was your process like before you became this version of you?
Well, thank you very much. When I think whatever it is I am today is all to the glory of God. And I say that in no religious manner. It's just to the glory of God. I strongly believe that whatever I am, whoever I am today is just by the grace of God. So it is a privilege to serve and function in whatever capacity I function and represent whatever it is I represent. I mean, who was I? I mean, I find that question strange because I'm still who I was. I'm still the same person. But I think growing up as a child, I was a very restless child. I mean, staying still in one place was like the highest form of punishment you could give me as a child. I mean, like, sit down there is the highest form of punishment you could give to me. So I think I've always had an inquisitive mind. I've always wanted to, check out stuff, explore stuff, see how really things really work. I mean, my dad buys a new toy. I really, I'm bored by playing with the toy. I now want to understand what makes the toy tick. In retrospect, I mean, it could be labeled as destructive, but I was just very curious as to really understand how things work. And then I now want to couple it back again. Now that's where the issue is. Dismantling it easy. And so for me, I've always learned by doing. I don't learn theoretically. So if I'm interested in anything, I go into it. So I learn tactilely or tactfully or tactfully. Someone doctor was telling me something like that. And that's how. So for me, I'm interested in it. I want to know how to do it. I don't read about it. I just jump into it straight. And so what that has done for me growing up as a child was to open me up to many things. So I've dabbled into music, theater, textile, fashion, food, just a little bit of this and that. And that's still me till date. So that's why I said it's hard for me to answer that question as to who I was. But I think, there are some things that, as you grow old, you drop them and you pick up new stuff. So I think anybody that knows me while growing up and still meets me now will always say the same thing, that this guy, you never change. I'm still the same guy.
Cool stuff.
I'll be fat.
So, what was your process like into becoming this photographer that you are now?
Well, I think, like I've often shared, my journey into photography started in my extra year on OAU campus. And then, I'd done everything. I had hosted shows, I'd done radio, I'd MC, I'd done comedy, I'd done everything. And then, it was in my first extra year that I was just like, I'm bored of all those things. Let me do something else, right? And then I think photography was the thing I was fiddling with at the time. And I'm like, okay, let's see for how long I can enjoy this. And, a year, 2 years, 10 years,
Wow,
I'm still counting.
amazing. That's amazing. I'm wondering. You said it was more like an extra. You had an extra year. When you say
Yeah.
an extra year, I'm trying to decipher
Actually, two.
what. Oh my
So,
god!
so I had 2 extra years on
Wow.
campus, and it was the best thing that ever happened to me.
Can you imagine? It was the best thing you
Because
ever
yeah,
did.
because the two biggest things that have defined the past decade of my life happened to me in my extra year. One, I found the love of my life, and
Amazing.
secondly, I found photography. So thank God for those extra years. If I could turn back the hands of time, I would beg God again for those extra years.
Can you
So
imagine? It's how your the disappointment. I'm sure at the time when it happened, you had like emotions were just
yeah, yeah,
overflying.
yeah, yeah. The first extra year, I was just vibing because I already knew since part two that no more. I know they follow all these guys
You're
graduate.
such a cool guy. You're such a fun person.
So I already knew since part two, but I felt like okay, I was just gonna. So the second one was a blow because it was just one part one course, SSC 106 statistics that kept me, and it was a second semester course. So what made it painful was I wasn't the most studious guy on campus, but I really, really studied for that course. Like I even enrolled for I
Tutorial.
went to go and meet part one students to teach me. I
Wow.
registered for tutorials. Like if there is any course that you apply yourself to, like I will study it. I will try and crack those. Oh man. So failing it really, 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 really messed me up for the second time. But I think, and then they finally graduated me.
He said they finally
Yes, yes.
graduated.
Because they
They
did.
let you go.
They just let me go because it was just 40E on the dot. So I knew that it was just one guy that said, let this guy just go. So,
He
and
has
that was it.
tried.
I tried now. The
Amazing.
people I did orientation for met me in part three. So
I like the fact you're saying it with so much joy and excitement.
I'm happy now. I don't blue.
Exactly. 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 Who would have thought that the guy that was struggling in school wasn't able to, get his academics together would be this person? So I think that just stands out for me. You've done really well for yourself, and the fact that you were able to pick yourself up and despite the fact that this has happened, I'm moving on. I'm not giving up.
Yeah,
I'm going to go right. I'm going to go for what it is that I
exactly.
want. So
Exactly.
amazing. Thank you so much
You're welcome.
for that. I think I've learned. In fact, this session self, everything is already complete. I think I've learned a lot from your story,
Thank God.
from this short story you just shared. So yes, in terms of when I look at your work, I saw that you've captured amazing people, like the influential figures, influential personalities. And I'm wondering, how were you able to get to that point, capturing Bishop Oyedepo, Oni of Ife, am I right?
Yeah.
And other influential personalities. How were you able to? I know you're a fun person, like just sitting down talking to you now. You're actually a fun person, but how were you able to build such capacity and such social capital to get to this point that you are now?
Well, I think, in all honesty, it's just the grace of God. And yes, because for me, I consider access a privilege, right? A privilege um, from God to trust you with the presence of people He has worked on, right? So I consider access on all levels a privilege. It is a privilege to be here with you guys
It's a
today.
privilege to be here
It is a
with you,
privilege. And
actually.
you know, I think one thing that a gift that God gave me early in my journey was the privilege of access. And I tell you by all authority, I didn't have a marketer, I didn't have a social media team, I didn't have anything, which sounds dangerous now, because I can only tell you what God did for me and how it happened for me. But I mean, looking back, and I still met someone yesterday that had been looking for the past eight months. And then I was supposed to come to Lagos yesterday, and then my flight was supposed to be for 7 a.m. And then they moved it to 11 a.m. And then I was running to catch the bus to run into the plane. And as soon as I sat down, I looked up, and it's the person I've been looking for. And I'm just like, and the only thing I could say is, you look so beautiful. And I was like, oh, thank you. I said, yes, I'm a photographer. And I said, I'm working on a project. Would you be interested in seeing it? And then we sat on the plane, and then I showed her, and she said, oh, come see me on Monday. And that's how God just, and I could not tell her that, I don't find you for the past 8. I just had to play it cool, just business class teasing. But my mind, the lady that was beside me could not understand. My leg was just shaking like this. She could not understand that. When God just wants to show up, and He just wants you to know that, look, I've been the author of your journey, and I remain. I've never had to skim my way into meeting anybody. Not a celebrity, not a high-profile individual. Nobody. I don't know how to. So I don't know how to do it. Because everybody I've needed for my journey, God brought them. Amazing. So the times that I tried to, put yourself out there, do marketing, network, meet people, introduce. Motel. Sorry, I was embarrassed. Like the thing really, and the day I tried it, it was not nice because my wife was there. So the thing, the soap, the thing wiped the two of us. I was just trying to, I'm in the room, and mind you, I was invited into that room on a bill of grace, right? The host had recognized me, had recognized my wife, and said, oh, Mr. Yemi Kings, it's so great to have you here. And everybody in the room was like, who is Yemi Kings? Like, because the room that was way, the senior me way for the So, but then there was this person that I just felt like, okay, since I'm in the room, let me just go and let me go and meet this person now. And because we've had a brush encounter in a way once or twice. And then when I just went there, I was just like, hello, ma, my name is Yemi Kings. The person was just like, and so more like, okay, can I help you? What's the point of this? And she was not being rude. She was just like, okay, I'm just trying to have my dinner in peace. I said, yeah, man, nice to meet you. She said, all right. And then another person now came to meet her. And then she was like, she just started laughing. So I was like, oh, so it's not like this person is just cold. She just does not send me. And the thing really, really paid me because the host is a friend. And that person, the host carries me like this. So I should have just waited for God to just carry me. So when I was going home, my wife was saying, babe, I said, let's go home. I said, my dad, let's just go home. Because for us, that party was over. It just really, really messed up everything. And then what I learned as we were driving home, it was just bant between me and my wife. Just like, oh, my babe, that introduction didn't go as we thought. And then the Holy Spirit just told me, he said, when did you start introducing yourself? Every room you've entered, I put you there. I called you there. Did you before they introduced in that room? So another person might work for that person. You might know how to sell yourself, market yourself. My own job is, by the time God has opened the door, He has gifted me now to own the room, right? But I don't go knocking on doors. And even when I push and I desire to meet some people and I put some work into it, it is God that still eventually bring those people, because there's no way I could have met that person. And I'm talking top person. There was no way I could have orchestrated that encounter. I know people that are close to that person. They couldn't take me to her. But when God was going to do it, we just met on the plane and we just got talking. No protocol, nobody, no. And that's how, for the question you asked, that's how I've met almost everybody I've photographed. There's somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that, oh, yeah, I think you should photograph my friend. Then we'll now get to the house of the friend. The friend will know somebody. I will now be like, ma, you should have warned me that this is the person we are coming to see. Oh, I just didn't want to bother you. You should have bothered me. And then, then somebody knows somebody, then somebody heard something and somebody. And then Grace just carried the name like that. So That's it. But I think I'm learning how to. But so far it doesn't work for me. So I used to tell people that I think, yeah, I think God has spoiled me. So yes, I'm a spoiled child because it just brings. So because someone came to my office and like, Yemi, hey, this person I want to have access to. How can I? And this lady I was telling you that I met on the plane just yesterday, I know a friend of ours who the friend could not take me to her. The friend just said, Yemi, no, now this is a number, call her. I said, sir, I cannot call her. It's you that can just call her.
Exactly.
Who will I say give me the number? How will I say how am I going to schedule this meeting? I couldn't call her. Yesterday I could not tell her that. Yesterday I was tempted to dial the number, I said to check. But and the person was like, I need to meet this person. I'm like, I don't know how to do these things. God just brings these people. So that's why I say for me, access is a gift. It's a privilege. So whenever I get to meet someone, I'm just thanking God that God, thank you. It's not like I did anything. It's just grace. It's just mercy. And that's how I've met all the people that I've photographed.
Amazing. Grace. Access is a privilege.
It is a privilege. It is a gift of grace.
So you don't have to scramble for it.
I don't know. Some people have done it too, and it works for them. And I'm not talking down on that. Right? Some people go for who they want to meet, and it works, and they do it, and everything works well. And there is nothing wrong in shooting your shot, going. If God has given you a gift and backing in that regard, where you can hunt for people and you get them and you're able to dispense value to them, fine, please go that way. But it just does not used to work for me, because when I hunt like this is a lie I used to collect.
It's just self-awareness.
So I just sit in my space and allow God bring.
It's just self-awareness. Yeah. So yes, was there a moment where photography stopped being more like an interest for you into becoming an identity? Like, oh, this is what you said you were doing several things, so you were exploring. At what point did you get serious to say, I'm going to take this head on, this is what I'm going to do? And what spurred that moment for you?
Okay, I think I remember God used two people for me. The first person God used to plant that seed for me was Pastor Elijah Oyelade. And I don't know where he is, but I'm sure he might see this. So my fellowship when we were on campus, NCCF, was not under UJCM, which was like the joint umbrella of campus fellowships, right? But for one reason or the other, not all fellowships are under. And my fellowship happened to not be under. But I was heavily involved in UJCM drama.
Okay.
Right? So there's something we call missions and new beginning. Missions is the end of the semester, Abby, and then new beginning is like the beginning of the semester or the session or something like that. So I can't remember which one it was, and we had an opening drama on Sunday service in amphitheater, and my fellowship was holding in Faj Caf. Okay. So from Faj Caf, I was tracking the service in amphitheater, the finished praise and worship. So I was shuttling services, and Pastor Elijah was seeing me.
Okay,
I was going and coming because I didn't want to miss the stage play, and I was also an executive in my campus fellowship too. So I was just shuffling. I was running both, and then he saw me. So after service, we had finished the stage play that we did in Amphi. I was running because I still had to go and welcome first timer in my own fellowship
capacity.
So yeah, so he just saw me. So as I was running, I was still taking pictures with people. Then Pastor Elijah called me. He said, "Where are you going to?" I said, He said, "Come. How many things are you doing?" Now, and that's why I said he planted the seed. He said, "How many things are you doing?" He said, "I see you do a lot on this campus. Is you are in African missions. Is you are in JCI. Is you are in this one. You are just everywhere." He said, "Young man." I said, "Yes." He said, "You know what you do? Make a list of all the things that you are doing right now. Make a list of all." And as at then, I was in 22 different organizations on campus. I counted. 22. That was when I counted.
That's a lot.
I was in 22. I was in 22. I was in 22. And personal ministries too. Students used to have personal ministries. I was in the branch by my friend Ojeka Etosi. I was in everything. So because
we were very active.
So you understand why I was having extra year now. So I was in everywhere. I was everywhere. I didn't know how to say no because I just felt like no hurts me. So if you make a request and I say no to you too, I know what it feels to be said no to. Yeah, so I don't say no to people because I just feel like no feels bad. So I don't want you to feel bad. So whatever you ask of me, I'll just say yes. Right? So I was a yes guy. So I was in 22 organizations. And then, and it was when I made that list, I knew I was in 22. I never knew I was in 22. Right? So then they now said, right where you're going to in life. And then now check which of this looks like it leads there. Right? So when I wrote what all the things I wanted to become, everything was looking like it. Right? I didn't gain clarity at that point. That was when I said it was a seed. But it kept me thinking. That was the first thing that made me realize, okay, you are doing too much. You're doing a lot. And then I was in the studio one day. I started photography, and I was still a radio host. 87.5 or so, Great Ife FM. So we had only one listener, my fiancée, my wife now. So she's the only one that used to listen because the broadband of the radio station did not pass maintenance than that area. So I had a show with Anne Oramu, and I was running from my house in Asherifa to that show in Department of English, and my Oga Full House had already entered Click Studio and he was looking for me, and they said Yemi has not resumed for work, and customers were already waiting to take pictures. So I finished the radio show with only one listener, and I was trying to sneak back into the studio. Oga caught me. He said, "Ope," I said, "Sir," he said, "Come upstairs." And then I got upstairs, and then it was like, so I was expecting the maximum para. He just said, "Sit down." I know sit down there is a punishment for me. He said, "Sit down." So he was operating his computer. He didn't talk to me for like 10 minutes. Just said, "Sit down first." I sat down. I was like, "Okay, if you yab me. If you beat me. Oh, which one is sitting down?" And then when I had my time, he now tilted his iMac. He now said, "Should we just walk in a He said it in Yoruba. He said, "Oju kan la tosi go to ubi oshe." It means that you can only pee in one spot before it foams like soap. Meaning that you have to concentrate your effort on that part before you can see visible change or impact. He now said, "You see, the way I describe you," I'm quoting him now, I said, "You are like a big ball of energy. And you're just spreading in every direction, directionlessly. Like I just said, but there's so much potential that you carry." Said, "If you can just carry all of that energy and then and put it in a laser focus, so you will make impact." Said, "An halogen lamp that is spreading doesn't travel far, but a laser light that just comes and then goes, it can be so sharp that it cuts through steel." He said, "If you're going to cut through many things in life, you have to have laser focus." That was when laser focus now made sense to me. So laser on one thing. I know you are gifted and you can do many things. I play over 15 musical instruments because the moment I'm interested in it, I pick it up. And the man said, "Just pack everything." Said, "Then when you now make name doing that one thing, you can now stamp that name on many things." You see, that stamp took me 10 years. And then what I did was, I just looked at everything I was doing and I just dropped everything. I took down my banner MC in SUB. I did everything. I cancelled I dropped out of all the organizations I was in. I did nothing else. I was resuming in the studio 247. And when I say 247, 247, I mean 247. I wasn't going home. I was spending days in the studio. 5 days, 6 days, I was living in the studio. And then I would go home when I was screen sick and I wanted to vomit. And then I was having screen sickness. That's when I'll go home. I'll come back. So my whole life, I remember I had only very few courses I was taking. So I was able to lock in into photography. And for the first time in my life, I'd locked in on something. So, and that's how I've locked in for the past 10 years. So now when he said, when that name is successful, you can stamp it on other things. And then now I'm doing the stamping.
Amazing. Yes. So I want to talk about the creative space now, right? I recently watched one of your conversations with Apostle Femi Lazarus, where you were speaking about how that photography is kind of like on its way out. right? So my question is, what would you say to people that, like young creatives who are thinking of going in that direction at this time as it is, considering the atmosphere of
Okay.
the industry?
Thank you very much for that question. Now, to put it clearly, what I said was portrait photography, as we know it, is on its way out. And, I'm very careful with how I frame words because I know that Nigerians are not a very calm audience. Portrait photography. I didn't say portrait photography is dying. I said portrait photography as we know it, meaning the way we are doing it now
Okay.
is on its way out. And I stand on that hill because not my mentor that trained me in photography, architect Olakule, architect, what I'm telling you about. I was going through his LinkedIn profile this afternoon, just before I came here, and I scrolled past a presentation and I saw his executive board members, and then I said, "Oga, come back." He came down. I took this picture, but I didn't take this picture.
Imagine.
My own boss, who could have easily bullied me and said, "Yemi, come and set up we live in the same estate," could have said, I need headshot. Would arrange headshot for him in less than 1 hour. I said, "Okay, this work look like my work, but it's not my work." He said, "Is that Agbada picture you took of me 4 years ago? I just use AI to turn it to corporate picture." Sure, you understand? And that shows you how convenient it is.
Yeah.
Do you understand? He did it in less than 2 minutes. I mean, I said it and photographers came for me, but I'll still say it again. Like, he did that in less than 2 minutes. If you didn't know me, that's 400,000 naira or 100,000 naira off somebody's table.
Exactly.
So, as we know it, if an industry is dying or if a way of executing, if it's evolving, I feel like before we went for that podcast, I thought very hard and long about it. And I felt like, look, which dragging do I want? Do I want the one where by the time everything changes, they will not start dragging me and say, in industry, you did not tell us. You did not tell us. You just shifted. You just rearranged yourself. And you did not tell boys that this thing is crashing.
You didn't drop orientation.
You didn't drop. You just motivated us to keep grinding on what was dying, and you left. I wouldn't want that. I'll prefer that. Yemi King said it, and we came for him. I will say it. It's one life. All of us will die. So I would rather warn you and say, look, if you want to do it, I'm going. See my camera. I'm going for a shoot from here. I'm still doing work.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Because there is still a demand for it. But the truth of the matter is, globally, even locally, the market is deepening because people are finding faster and cheaper alternatives, and those alternatives are not even being fought against. So it's not like I saw somebody that used AI pictures to apply for visa, and the thing went through.
Imagine.
And let me tell you something. As a photographer, when we were doing wait and get photography, if you wanted just normal passport to do affidavit in Ikeja court, it's 200. If you wanted to do for international passport, it's 4,000. Because there is a way it has to be, and then you now have to scan it, and then the computer can tell you that the eye is not. So there's a way to cut. There's a way to cut for US. There's a way to cut for Canada. There's a way to cut for Schengen. Do you understand? Now you can take a selfie and say, "Give me this as a passport, and I want to use it for my US visa." And the woman posted it on Twitter yesterday, or X they call it now.
X.
That I use this prompt, and she put the prompt there for anybody that wants. So what are we talking about? It's clear. So I just feel like, look, the industry is changing. Will there still be need for photography? Will there still be need for storytelling? There will always be. But this particular medium, this particular technique, this particular context in which we are doing it, the world is moving away from it. So take heed, oh ye photographer. If that is your bread and butter, is either you go and start selling real bread and butter, or you will shift your entire operation into a more economically viable one. But I said what I said though, because that's the truth. That's the truth. I have lost jobs to to AI. I've lost clients that didn't come back. Right? So where we all of us are living, if that's where you now say you want to come inside, maybe any small thing. God told me that if God has said to go ye and enter all the best. If you see jobs, call me. I will help you. But the truth of the matter is that I think that every creative that wants to come into the creative space now should not only just look at where it was, look at where it is, and look at where it's going, and then position yourself not for where it was, because it's just like you opening a cyber cafe business in 2026. It still exists though. I saw one last week in my estate and I was very shocked. But come on, people use cyber cafe to build houses those years. People use cyber cafe business to send kids to school abroad. Like you will see one old shopping complex like this, is just cyber cafe everywhere. People, they were printing, they were doing photocopy. That was the time. But the moment Opera Mini came, and people could browse on their phones. I mean, anybody that owned a cyber cafe business as a then should know that sell your cyber cafe business and start selling phones. Actually, you will still be in the telecommunication industry, but that particular one is gone. So,
all right. So you made a lot of impact as a creative. I just want you to tell me, what do you think separates impactful creatives, like people that are creatives and are impactful, from talented creatives? And how is impact beneficial, and how can one insert impact into the craft?
Impact and talent. Just give me a minute. Well, I feel that, one, I feel like everyone is talented. Right. I don't think God created one person without talent. And if the Holy Bible tells us about the parable of the talent. While the master was leaving, he gave all of them as to their capacity. And and I'll talk about that capacity, but he gave unto each of them, measures. But if there was one of them that he didn't give, we would have used that one to represent a sample population of people that are talentless. Like, I'm of the tribe that received nothing. But he gave everybody something. It means that everybody carries something. Now, whether you now develop it, nurture it, discover it, and nurture it, that's entirely another different conversation. But if you have been able to nurture it, now the degree to which you are able to nurture it, the degree to which you are able to scale it and then execute it, now determines how impactful it can be. So I feel it's a thing of vision. You can be talented and not have vision. Right? You might not have a target. You might not have, like how we're calling it on campus, finding purpose-driven life. I mean, it was, many of us didn't even understand what we were searching for, but at least it gave us a consciousness that there's more to your life than just daily existence, right? And I think it programmed many of us to start looking for meaning in many of the things that we were doing. Like, somebody asked me that, what was my purpose for community photography? I said, to make more money than my guy was making. Right. I said that I didn't come into photography to change the world. I just needed to do something that, because it was when I logged into photography, I now realized how profitable it could be. I mean, I was hoping I would be making 70,000 naira per day. That if I can do it differently than my guy like this. And eventually, when I was going to come into it, I was not even doing that model of photography. I had to come to Lagos to do a whole different model entirely. But I came into it I stuck by it because I saw that it was economically viable. Right, at least as it was at the point. But it was when I came into photography that then I discovered that God would not have allowed me to sit in this industry if he didn't have a meaning behind it, if he didn't have a purpose for it. So I had to now start reverse engineering in that. Why did God allow me to choose this medium as a medium of expression for this whole ball of energy? Why is it photography that God allowed me to sit in? Because I don't believe in coincidences. I don't believe in coincidences at all. I believe everything happens for a reason. It is just you that has not yet found the reason why what happened. And that's why when testimonies happen, you will not be understand. That's why I say that's why. So we understand God's working in reverse. So that means that this meeting of all of us in this studio today, God is building something that we might not understand. BFAD attending OAU and me attending OAU at the same time, God had already aligned this day to happen. So when they didn't pick me in Unilorin, is one of the reasons so that this day can happen, right? So many things happen. We don't know until it happens, right? So I feel that it was when I came into the industry, I had to sit down and start asking myself, because I've always had a purpose consciousness, and then I started asking that. So what's the purpose of this? What's the purpose of this? Why am I here? And then it didn't dawn on me in a day, but from inclination to different, over the months, over the years, it started forming, and then I got in. No, this is why I'm here. And then when I function in that office and people start crying, when I give them their portraits, and when you have billionaires crying and saying, Yemi, is this me? I never believed that I'm this beautiful. And this is not after we have edited. This is not after we have put all our Photoshop. This is straight from camera. And I'm like, what? And then they cover their mouth, and then the PA is fanning them and they are doing this, and I'm like, I'm into your law. And then I started understanding that this is beyond me, because I just wanted to take a cool shot, and I took it, and then to this person it means something totally different. And then I'm like, no, there's something here. And then we pressed into it, and then we started understanding the power of what we do. And then we started understanding why God gave that power to us particularly. So that's how that entire thing started for me. But we didn't come into it with a mindset of, I'm going to make people cry. No. But we came into it, and then God started unraveling why He brought us into the room.
All right. So yes, I found out that you studied psychology in school.
So they said.
So they said you didn't study psychology.
Yeah, psychology was studying me now. If I studied it, I would be done in 4 years. But the thing studied me for 6 years. So
I get your point now. Yes. So I want to talk about the intersection between psychology and, of course, what you do as a creative. I know that as a psychologist, you are able to see beyond what is visible, right? You're able to see and understand inner workings of people. And as a photographer, you're actually able to see people, right? So my first question relative to that is, what's the psychological cost of constantly being visible as a creative? Basically, just the psychological cost of it. I know that you're someone that is kind of like everywhere bubbly, but then when you work with people, when you work with creatives who are very visible, or like, do you have any idea of the psychological cost of the visibility? Yeah.
well, I'm actually not everywhere. I think one of my strength is that I'm not even everywhere. But when I'm somewhere, I'm all over that space.
Yeah.
Right? So it gives you the illusion that I'm everywhere. Like, I've not seen BFAD in 10 years. Yeah. But the moment we saw each other, it's like we saw yesterday. So that's it for me. In fact, I'm shocked by how my adult life is, because I was that guy that would be everywhere, and now I'm just mostly you only see me on screen, or you see me at an event. That's all. I'm back in my house. I'm back in my studio. Sometimes 5-6 days I don't step out of that space. Eating, sleeping, working. Do you understand? And it's not far from my house, so my wife brings the kids over. We have a good time. I just lock into work when I lock into work. I lock into family when I lock into family. And for me, it's been able to buy me some level of sanity, right? Because it's really exhausting being everywhere. And even for the kind of photography I do, my clientele is not everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't shoot everybody. So, and remember I say it's God that brings them. So I don't go anywhere looking for them. I practically sit in my house, and I get these phone calls, I get these emails, I get these DMs, and then we arrange the shoot, and I'm back to my house. eating my wife's semo and egusi. She makes the best semo and egusi, right? And after a stressful day, that's just what I want to eat. And so I don't. It's now I'm trying to, let's even go out a bit, let's socialize a bit. That's why you would hardly meet me anywhere, because I know what that can cost you when you are out there. And because of the exposure that social media puts on us, um it's one of the mirage of this digital age. You think you know people because of the things that they put out there, the fact that you see them constantly on your phone. And that's why when you meet someone that is very, very popular, a celebrity, you have this sense of familiarity. You expect them to, like, I know you are my G, I see, like, because they're a part of your everyday life, you are not a part of theirs.
Yeah.
So people kind of feel betrayed when a celebrity doesn't greet them very well. Shebi, what? I know you very well. You that, you don't know them.
Yeah.
You've not met them. They don't know you, right? So for me, I think I enjoy a little bit of both worlds. My privacy is very, very, and God now blessed me with a very private woman, where
It suits you.
we're able to, balances me. It grounds me. So and for me as well, my work doesn't require that I'm everywhere, right? In fact, if I'm everywhere, I won't have access to the kind of clients that I have access to,
Yes.
right? So because it thrives on exclusivity. So, and there's so much structure that um governs and protects that exclusivity, right? So even the kind of spaces I go, and it's not deliberate, it's just happened, right? It just so happened that because of the kind of people that patronize my work, I must be in a certain part of town so that they can be comfortable coming. And because my work is in that part of town, I can't be too far from my family.
Yeah.
So it involves that I stay in that part of town. And then if I stay in that part of town, because of the way water and the road can be, it dictates that I drive a kind of car. So everything just started building. So it wasn't as if I deliberately sat down and said, this is how I'm going to build my life, or this is the places I'm going to go. And so because of the kind of person I am, it now dictates the kind of people in my circle, right?
Yeah.
Because you don't choose your friends, your values do.
Yeah.
That's why they say birds of a feather, they just flock, So you're friends with someone because you align, your thought processes align. So because this is my work, this is my house, this is my world, it influences the kind of spaces that my life just dictates that I'm in. So I think for me, the privacy I enjoy is just a byproduct of the kind of life I live. And yes, so, and my value system. So there are places you would not see me, not because the people there are bad, but just because my value system doesn't require that I'm in such a space. And then there are some kind of clients that are now attracted to me just because whatever you do in the secret will come out in the open. The books you read, the things you scroll on will come out in your conversations.
Yeah.
Right? Your meditations will come out in your conversations. Your thoughts will come out in your actions. So you can't hide who you are.
hide who you
Right?
are.
So my value system just comes out in the way I do everything I do. And that attracts a particular kind of people. Right? And that just, it's just a system that runs itself.
All right. Thank you so much for that. So I am curious. Do you think social media and photography increases like people's insecurity, or does it increase their confidence? Because there's this idea of, oh, I'm trying to, give a certain perception of myself. I'm trying to portray myself in a certain light. So that's basically what I'm asking. Do you think that it reflects people's insecurities, or it shows their confidence, or it goes both way? And just
I think social media is basically was designed to be a tool of social connections, right? Sharing and connecting. But I think in this context, it is a mirror.
it's a mirror.
Yeah. And what that means is that a mirror basically reflects what's standing in front of it. I mean, if you have a strong sense of self and self-awareness, social media would amplify that for you. And that's why you see people like Kata Ife, Portable, Kolu, what's that guy's name? Right? James Brown. All the people that come on social media to do madness, they believe in themselves.
Yes, with confidence.
So if you have confidence, the confidence will show, right? That's how somebody like Okpefama King will come out and say, "I'm the biggest food critic in Africa." From when he was filming in his dad's living room, I saw a clip of his like maybe 15 years ago, where he was saying, "My name is Okpefama King, and I'm the biggest food critic in Nigeria." And it was one dark brown center table with a mismatched curtain that was at the back. Right? And if you go to the early days of VDM, that very rugged sitting room was there and was drinking his pure water. So I think social media is just an amplifier of, if you have a very strong sense of, I don't know if you know this James Brown guy.
Yes, I know.
Right? You see people on social media that have no reason to people who society has told to hide who they were. They are coming out and they are saying, "Look, oh, I don't give a hoot about whose us is God. This is me, and you're going to take me like that, and I don't care." Right? And then you have people who have insecurity issues on their own, and then they come on social media, and what that does is that it just amplifies it. They just have more reasons to shrink. They just have more reasons to hide. They just give themselves, because that's all you are seeing. We call it the theory of reticulation. Is what you are looking for is what you are going to see. So people like that, they come on social media and all they are seeing is how everybody's life is better than theirs. How they are never good enough. How I'm not pretty enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not pink enough. I'm not fresh enough. I'm not this enough. I'm not. And they give themselves all the reasons in the world to not put themselves out there. And when they tell you their story, you feel for them. Say, it's true. It's true. I understand. Just don't worry. God will do it. Because everybody feels for a sub story. But you see people who you be like, I remember the first time I saw Portable, I'm like, who's this guy? Like, right? I remember the first time I saw Kata Ife, and the guy was dancing in a baby diaper with powder all over his body, and spit was drooling from his mouth. And like, that's the most disgusting. And as an adult, it was dancing. I'm like, no, social media has turned to nonsense. The guy cashed 50 something million out last month or so. So please, if me say I'm looking for diaper now to wear and powder, because at the end of the day, when a new thing comes out, nobody really has a hang of it. Everybody's just looking at, oh, it can go like this, it can go like this. But I remember when the first time I saw Pella, I'm like, this guy needs to go back to school and learn to speak good English.
But his bad English is making me.
Do you understand? I remember the first time I saw Jarvis, and I'm like, oh, you don't even know how to do the robot thing very well. Do you understand? I remember seeing these things, and because we come from an era where everything has to be polished and properly done, and then one of the things that really, really changed that was COVID, because everybody was bored. We would take anything. Nobody was giving us the prim, proper, hyper polished content that we're used to, right? So we were all bored in COVID. Everybody was just doing all sorts of madness. So our threshold for excellence dropped, and it affected the marketing industry. And that's why content creators started coming out. Because during COVID, everybody needed to market their stuff. There was no multi-million budget to do it. Nobody could move. So people were creating, forgive me, but shitty content with their phone. But we were forced to take it because that was all we had. So when these things shift, we are now in an era where if you are confident with social media, if you are confident on a normal day, social media will amplify that confidence. In fact, to a point of overconfidence. And then if you are insecure, oh no, it's gonna crush you. But for some of us, we don't get eye on our own supply, because as media practitioners, we are the priests at the altar of perception what you see is us that's packaged it for you. So you can't bobo me. I make the bobo. Do you understand? I will bobo you. Right. So I mean my work has let me understand because I live behind the scene.
Yes.
That's my work. So when I see the finished product, I'm not dazzled. It's just like a tailor seeing a dress on the red carpet. You can all this. They just finished the MVCA. You are seeing the dresses,
You don't know what is
but
inside.
but if you're a tailor, you can understand that. Tomba yi aṣọ yẹn sódì. If you go to where they made this clothes, pieces of cloth all over, it's chaos. In fact, down to the hotel room before they came down in that Eco hotel, the hotel room is a mess because we shoot there. We are there. It's not so, and then you are going to see the slow motion video coming out of a Rolls Royce, and that Rolls Royce is still seven or eight people that will use it to do content that day. And do you understand? So it's social media is a mirror, right? If you put a fake thing in it, it shows it. But it's not just a mirror. It's a, which one is it? Is it a convex or concave mirror that expands stuff? So whatever you put in front of it, it amplifies it. If you put reality in front of it, it amplifies it. If you put doubt, if you put confidence, if you put fake stuff there, it just amplifies whatever it is that you put in front of it. So we as consumers of what's there and as producers of what's there as well should know how we take everything, and that's why you will see that most producers don't consume their own products. Tech guys will tell you they have no screen in their homes, right? People that make fast food will tell you that on a healthy diet. You're going to see, people that create the drug dealers don't use drugs. So that's why they say you don't get high on your own supply. So you sell it, let other people's lives be spoiling. But you sell it because you know the danger of what you are mixing. Most content creators have a screen time. They don't because that's how they can be productive. Because if they are scrolling, how would they have time to create? Right. So I remember, a day we were on a film set and then a TV was showing on a TV station one of the jobs that an actor did. And then like I was looking at it, said, I don't watch movies. So I don't even know what I said. I just do it and move on. Exactly. Right. So we should consume social media with it has ruined lives. Right. There are people that just rubbish comments online messed up their job opportunities. There are people that have made some tweets and some comments and
still haunting them.
It's still really messed up and blocked major doors for them. I still got a message yesterday from someone telling me to warn someone that, and they sent a screenshot that this person is looking for favor in this regard, and then you are liking a post and retweeting it that speaks against the people that are looking, and is there, once you go to a picture, you will see the people can like it, and you will see the people that are retweet. In fact, now they are doing it, the thing will come up and they screenshot it and they sent it to me. That warn this person that I'm sending it to you because I know that you know him and is endorsing a message that goes against where he's looking for favor. So warning. So that's how careful we have to be with social media. It should be in doses.
All right. Thank you so much for that. It's been an amazing time with you. I just have one last question. When people remember Yemi Kings in, let's say, 20, 30, 40 years from now on, what sort of person do you want them to remember?
I'm 40 years now. I've been a grandpa with many grandchildren now.
Definitely.
Almost. See, that question is a question that, because I don't even know what I'm going to do with my life finish. Right? But I think in 40 years, I think I just want to be remembered as I did my part the best way I knew I could. I was able to help as many lives as possible. Yes. Right? And I was able to spread the message of my Savior the best way I could. I mean, I don't want to look at my life and wish I lived it differently. right? I don't want to. I don't do regrets. So when I'm in this moment, I always ask myself that I don't want to go home at night and wish I did something this afternoon. I mean, I could be somewhere and someone is being treated unfairly. I know I won't be able to live with myself if I didn't say something. So I would have to wrestle and quickly win that battle, whether I want to be a part of it or not. And so for me, I don't do regrets. So so that guards my decisions. And I always ask myself that I don't wait for 40 years, 80 years at night when I want to sleep, because that's when everything quiets down. And then I'm asking myself, did I make the best decisions today? So I do that on a daily basis. So for me, I just want to make sure that I make the best use of my time now, because time lost can never be regained. Right? Is this the best I can do? This thing I'm doing, is this the best way I could do it? Can I push harder? Can I sincerely push harder? If I'm at a 6 now and I'm saying that's my peak, can I actually do a 10? But if I've done a 6 and a 6 is what I can actually do, I'm okay. Because the parable of the talent, this is the second time I'm making reference to it. And I said I was going to come back to it. It guides me a lot. And when people say capacity, people say he gave one 5, he gave one 3, and the other one 1. They said he gave them according to their ability and capacity. So for me, if he gave me 5, I'll give him 10. If he gave me 3, that means I'm supposed to give him 6. And if he gave me 1, that means I'm supposed to give him 2. But somebody said a flip. Somebody said they gave. Have you considered the possibility? Now, I'm glad Bifad is here. He's the pastor. That have you considered the possibility? And I'll wrap up with this: that God trusted the one he gave one the most. The master trusted the one he gave 1 talent out of all of them. Like, he probably didn't trust the one he gave 5. Ali, 5 by ko shilo. Let's just give him plenty talent, too. Because if this one does not jẹ, this one will jẹ. This one, he can sing, he can act, he can know book, his singing does not blow, acting will blow. So he might have given you a lot because he knows that, look, he might mismanage these funds at least, but at least by the time I come back, no matter how much of a loss he has made, we shall still see something.
Exactly.
Because when you have a child and you're going to boarding school and you sold 5 uniforms for 1 and you sold 1 for 1, you have more trust in the one that you gave 1 and say, look, no, I'm not trying to be heretic. I'm just saying, can we consider the possibility that maybe he has more trust in that one that he gave 1, that, look, I'm sure that you will do well. It's sure. So that's why I was probably most disappointed in that one. That now you self, I get believe that I don't need to waste 4 more talents on you, because I know that you are a multiplier and whatever. So let me just give you 1. All these other ones is insurance that I'm using. And you check, most times when people are successful, it's usually with 1 thing.
Exactly.
It's not because they can't do a whole lot more, but it's usually 1 or 2 things that just lifts someone. So for me, I just ask myself that all the things that God has put inside me, what have I done with it? Have I lived to the fullness of the potentials that I know that I can? Was I myself? Was I able to succeed in lifting other people? Right? And the moment I can answer those questions in different measures, I think it helps me to sleep at night. So I think in the next 40, 50 years, if they want to remember Yemi Kings, I think that guy that lived according to what God has written about him, he lived happily, he lived without fear, and then, at the end of the day, I just want to eat my wife's semo and egusi soup.
Amazing. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
It's been an awesome time with you. I really enjoyed myself. I was so comfortable talking to you.
Me too.
It's such an honor to do this with you.
Honor to you.
Thank you so much for watching. I believe that you've learned a lot, and of course, you had fun doing this with us. Thank you so much once again for watching. Do well to like, share, comment, subscribe. See you next time in the next one. Bye.
Bye bye.